Hi everyone and welcome to another budget. I'm Jamie, UK-based mom of two, and I'm here to conquer debt, and I also have some pretty big savings goals. Today we are going to do my budget with me before cash stuffing, and we're going to do some cash planning in my budget binder. So my last video was all about my online spending and paying myself back to reconcile kind of my money and what I've done this week. Now it's time to budget, and then in my next video we're going to be cash stuffing what we're budgeting today. And this is just the 3 steps that I'm taking. I wanted to show you a little bit of my process this week with all 3 steps in how I can kind of get back on track when things just seem to have got a little bit scattered. And I hope it gives you some motivation and inspiration that it's okay if things are a bit rushed, if you're just pulling your card out as you're running around. You know, it's okay, and we can fix it, and we can make sure that we are still staying on track by just doing a couple of small things, and I hope it helps. So if you want to budget with me or do your own cash planning, do pull your binder out and join me as we dive into the world of budgeting and take control of our finances one cash-filled envelope at a time. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, as it really helps to support my small channel. And remember, it's another day, another sunrise, and another chance to budget right. Let's make every penny count on this amazing financial journey, and let's get started. Okay friends, I hope you are ready. I do tend to write a little bit of a slant, but we shall see how this goes. We're going to jump straight to my cash planning pages. And this was last week, so here we are this week. Let me know if I'm not allowed to have things on a slant and it's a bit hard for you to see. We are going to do things slightly differently this week than we did last week. So we have £420 to budget, but I'd already stuffed my groceries, transport spending, these main categories apart from the buffer for the month, not in my wallet but in my low priority binder. I do have these corresponding categories. We are, however, budgeting what we're going to be putting into our wallet this week. This is coming within that 420, but we won't be cash stuffing the 420 because we already have cash stuffed these from kind of our available balance. This will just be moved over from a low priority to our weekly wallet, basically, when we're cash stuffing. I hope it makes sense, but I'm going to show you as we go along. So we're going to start off there. And this is where that money is going to come from. So I know how much is in here, basically. But if I didn't, as this is all the money for the month now, for December, we have 3 weeks left, so 3 more cash stuffings. And we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 10. Okay? And what we would do then is do 110 divided in 3. And that's how much we could do each week. So at least £35. But I might anticipate that towards the last week in holidays, I might need to spend a little bit more when everybody's home. Or if I have things already stocked up for that season, I might not need as much. We might not be doing a lot of grocery runs. It all depends on kind of your own family, but that's what I would think. But I usually stuff 30. I just gave myself a little bit more every week. So even though I've gone over my budget in this past week, which I went through in my last video, I still have more than I usually would. But for this week, I'm going to try and keep it on the lower side, just in case, again. And I'm going to be doing 30. Okay. Transport this coming week, I am aiming to take the train twice for school runs, so that's going to be 15. And for transport, 15 is the most it is in a week. We have 3 weeks left. No, we don't even have 3 weeks left. The last week isn't going to need transport money anyway. Let's say we had 3 weeks with this one then for all three, and that would be 45. And we have 10, 20, 30, 45, 55, 65 in transport because we didn't spend any this week and we were already £10 up. So we have more than enough to cover us in case other things happen, in case we need to use some extra money for transportation during the holidays, etc. We do have a little bit extra here. Spending this week. Okay, so we have 10, 20, 30 and 40 pounds left because we didn't stuff it this week. But I did end up spending some extra. I took money out of my own personal envelope instead when I had a weak moment of spending. And I went through that in my last video, so I won't go through it now, but I hope you see how it all ties together if you watch that video and then watch my cash stuffing next. So spending can be getting £10, which is, we had 40 left, didn't we? And we have 3 weeks. 10, 20, 30, 40, yes. Just keeping and trying to keep it just below a third. I'm hoping we don't even need to spend that. This is where I took that money out. So maybe if I save enough, I can give myself some money back from the spending at the end of the month. We shall see. Eating out. We have 10, 20, 30, 40. Let's do £10 there too. Entertainment. 10, 20, 30 and 5. Pretty much, I think I'm going to do 10 for all of these guys. And same with kids, I think. Let's just double check. 10, 20, 30, 5 and 40. Yes, that's the full amount. I did stuff kids this week with £5, but I didn't spend it. So I think we're doing £10 for all of it. And 10. Okay. I'm going to take that off the total. And obviously this difference is what I won't be bringing in as extra cash. But I know that this is what I'll do for the overall total. So we have minus 30, minus 15, minus 10, minus 10, minus 10 and minus 10. Okay, that leaves us with £335. So 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85. So we have £335 left to budget. And then we're going to move into our high priority and our bills. So let's grab that binder. And like I said, I've left buffer because I'm not sure if I'll have anything left this week for buffer, but we shall see. I want to cover all our essentials first, which is why I've only written those down. And rent will be getting, now this is not money that is going to be coming out. This is money that we've already stuffed, and we're going to be adding it from the remainder of this 420. So rent will be getting 140. And I know these numbers because I divide my bills into 4 and it's the same every week. And sometimes we have a higher bill, like gas and electric now. But knowing your base numbers make it a lot easier to tackle those. Minus 20. Okay, so these are all the same numbers. Gas is 10. Then we have water, and water is getting 10 as well. Broadband will be getting £5. Phone bill will be getting 10. And then we have iCloud and GoHenry, and iCloud will be getting £5. And GoHenry is getting 0. Okay, then we move on to my kind of high priority sinking funds. First off, we have clothing, and My 3 high priorities that I focus on stuffing every single week now is clothing, beauty and baby needs. And they don't get a lot, but they get the smallest amount that I can possibly do on a weekly basis for as long as I feel that's necessary. So my 3 high priorities would be clothing, beauty and baby needs. And clothing, again, we'll be getting small amounts and it's all the same. So we're all getting £5 each. Self-care is getting nothing. So once we take those out, we're left with £110. And before we move on to more fun things, we've got our 3 high priority sinking funds covered, and we're going to be doing our debt and our emergency funds. That's our next steps of priorities. So we got our food and transport and weekly spending covered. We have all our bills covered, and we have our 3 high priorities essentially covers clothing, something for me and something for the little one. Capital One is my first credit card. Someone's written on here. It's funny that, because I used to be a manager in retail and sales manager at a gym, and I just remember counting and writing on the notes, and then customers just sometimes be like, can I use this when it's written on? Just brings back memories. So Capital One is our first debt. Needs to be getting 20. Now it's getting 20 every week because I'm snowballing my sinking funds, which is going to be moving into my emergency fund, which is going to be moving into my debt. Pulls comes out by direct debit. There's nothing in extra debt. And then our emergency fund. And our emergency fund, so let's take away the 20, is going to be getting 20. Okay. Then what we have is, like I said, our sinking fund snowball. That's going to be getting 50 every single week. And now, the only thing I've left to do is the buffer, which wasn't my original intention, but I wanted to do it for events like this past week. And then I'm going to not use it for sinking funds anymore. It's going to be going into my emergency. So I'll be doing, every single week, I'll be doing £70. So these two combine to emergency until it's fully funded. And then I'm going to be doing the sinking fund, emergency and the debt all together, which is £90 on a weekly basis until Capital One is paid off. That's the plan, okay? But I think we should have £10 left at this stage. The only other thing we need is Christmas, because we have a few more things that we need to be getting. I'm going to put £10 for Christmas, and it would be nice if we had another £10 left, but you guys might have spotted it. I just feel like that should be all we can do with this amount. So we had 420. We take out our 85, so 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85. Then we take out our 210 for our bills. This is 140, 10, 20, 10, 10, 5, 10, and 5. So leaves us with 125. We take out our 3 high priority single funds. Then we take out our debt. Oh, maybe it's correct. We take out our emergency. We take out our sinking funds, and we take out our Christmas. And we do have £10 remaining, which is nice. I think that I just put it on to something else usually, but I can either make a little bit more of a debt payment, or I can do a little bit more of a sinking fund payoff. But I think what I am going to do is do an extra 20 in Christmas, because I do have, no, not an extra 20. We're going to do 20 in Christmas. A few more things I need to get for the kids. So, and Christmas is completely depleted. So I feel like that's a good thing to do. And for what I'm doing with this 50 sinking fund snowball this week, you'll have to watch my cash stuffing tomorrow, but at least I've allocated the money, and that's what this is really for, making sure I've got everything covered, which I do. I hope you found it helpful, so thank you so much for sticking around. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out my channel and I appreciate you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next video.